This is NBC Connecticut News at 11.
Welcome back. Irritable bowel syndrome, or IBS, may be a tough topic to talk about, but it is one of the most commonly diagnosed disorders. Dr. John Birk joins us this morning. He's chief of the Division of Gastroenterology and Hepatology at UConn Health Center. And Doctor, thanks for joining me.
Well, thanks for having me.
So, Doctor, you say that 1 in 5 Americans has symptoms of IBS, but let's talk about those symptoms. What are they?
Well, there are a few symptoms. I mean, there's a conglomeration of them, but things like gas, bloating are common symptoms, and then diarrhea, constipation, cramping, constipation. These are also common symptoms of it. There's a lot of symptoms that come together to sort of describe IBS.
IBS occurs more often in women than men, but I have to ask why. Why is that?
It's hard. No one's really explained that definitely, and actually people have done studies in other parts of the world, and interestingly enough, in some places it's even more common in men than women.
Oh.
So it depends on where you sort of do your survey.
Okay, well, I have to ask you about the triggers. So what are some potential triggers for symptoms of IBS?
Well, I think the main trigger is that one of the things you have to sort of remember about IBS is it's kind of mind over matter, but you don't really have control over it.
Is stress one of those triggers, though?
Stress is one of the big triggers. But often over time, stress and the symptoms of IBS start to separate themselves a little bit.
Okay.
And then you have the IBS symptoms, you don't really relate them to the stress as much, and you're saying, gee, why do I have these symptoms now? So you can't really sort of focus and say, aha, it's stress, you know?
What about diet? Does that play into it?
No triggers from diet or food has ever been established as one, as a specific cause of it, but it's always recommended to have a more healthy diet, you know, more fiber, more fruits, more vegetables is always helpful in the treatment of it.
Hormonal changes is one, so I would think maybe that might contribute to perhaps the reason why women more than men, at least in some studies?
Yeah, it might be a possibility that the hormonal changes in women are more commonly associated with it. However, that's usually around menstrual cycles when you really see it, but it's not always associated with that.
So what are some things that women or men can do to kind of alleviate that? Is there anything that we can do as far as, I would think just managing stress would be a big factor? Yeah,
I think managing stress is a big factor. Understanding that you have the disease, not feeling ashamed to ask, you know, your healthcare professional about it. And then once you realize that the disease is not sort of a sign or symptom of something worse, then you can start feeling more comfortable about it.
Okay.
So that's usually the best sort of therapy for it.
All right. Well, before we go, though, you'll be talking about this topic at a free lecture. When is the lecture and where is it?
The lecture's at the UConn Health Center, and it's on March 1st.
March 1st, okay.
Yeah, at 7:30.
And free lecture, you can just go.
Yes, it's called the Discovery Series. It's a series that the UConn Health Center promotes.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Dr. Birk. Thanks for coming in on this holiday.
Well, my pleasure.
Okay. And let's talk about the forecast, the weather.